Hi, my name's Suzanne D, and today I'm doing a healing to remove the voice in Australia. So I stand in the power of my soul, and I see and act as the Creator does, and I am the Creator, and rescue unharmonious developments for the world and all beings. And I seal and protect this space with my life shield, which I place around my auric field, my home, my car, and my personal space for protection. And I activate this now for my protection. And I'm protected from evil eyes, evil intent, low vibrational beings, and energy. And I also use the numbers 88888 for divine protection, which I place completely around me for protection. And if anyone does not wish to take part in this healing, simply say no, and then you'll not receive the energy. And the information in this healing is from my Genome Healing course and my own personal downloads from Source. And the voice will change Australia, and not in a very good way. And I hear that many Aborigines in Australia have not even been asked about this voice that is supposed to be for the good of them. So why is it that they don't even know about this voice and what it means for them? And some people say that it will actually make things even worse for all Australians, and that it will take away the rights of all homeowners and farmers. And with this in mind, I believe that we all need to stand up and say no to this voice. And we can do this as a united group of all Australians standing up. And it's important to educate yourself about this so that you have the correct information, because there's a lot of disinformation around about this. And when you have the correct information, you'll know what to do and what the right answer is. And I'm asking for all whistleblowers to come forward in Australia and worldwide to speak out about this situation and what they know. And people need to speak out about the truth to expose the fraud and corruption that's been going on in Australia. And I would like Australians to have the right information so that they actually know about what they should do about this. And I'm seeing the right information, and it's showing up on a huge screen that's above Australia so that everyone can see the truth. And the truth is now being played for all Australians to see and hear. And I'm putting this information out into the atmosphere and also in the auric field of Australia so that all Australians have the right information. And I'm going to command the universe for this event to now take place in Australia. And I will now activate this event to take place this time and date, which is today into infinity. And I'm going to remove the implant that has been held over Australia and the world at this time. And I will now delete this implant on all beings of the earth and Australia. And I'm pushing the delete button now to delete this. So there's no implant being held that's not for our good of Australians. And I'll also remove all handcuffs on hands, because I can see there's handcuffs on lots of people as well, so that they can't make decisions and be free. And I'm going to use my hands, and I'm going to reach into the area, and I'm going to unlock these. I will unlock the key, and I will free everyone from all these handcuffs. And I hold the key for this in my hand, which I'm going to use to unlock all who have been locked up, so that everyone is free. And I can also see souls who are frozen in time and space and can't make decisions. And they need to be freed again so that they can move forward and they're not trapped. And I will hold my hand over this area, and I will also heat up this area so the souls are now unfrozen and they can move again and they're not stuck in time. And I will also remove the programming that was used to freeze the beings into time. And I say to all soul fragments, release and go back to the soul that you came from now. And I'm now going to realign these back into the right place. And I will activate and switch on all the souls back to the perfect DNA and blueprint from the Creator's norm that they were made. And I will delete and remove all default systems that were placed in brains of beings of Earth. And I see these default systems in my mind's eye, and I'm now going to delete this. So I will push the delete button on this, and then I will return all back to the Creator's norm blueprint. Okay, and I'm going to send in love and joy vibration that's going to fill the void that was left from everything I've taken out, so that now all beings have love and joy in their hearts and their soul and their bodies. And we will now be attuned to the vibration of love and joy with loving, uplifting thoughts that infuse into our hearts. And we can sing a new song now that's in tune with love. And I will now go in and remove all memories from all spaces and dimensions on the earth plane. And I will clear all dark and low energy from the water, the air, the soil, the beings, the animals, and the buildings, because all of these hold memories of all the old traumas. So I will hold my hand over the earth and over Australia, and I'm going to pull out all of these energies so they're no longer there. And then I'll put all these energies into the quarantine cube so they're cleansed and they go back to the Creator. And now I've done that, I'm going to see all of this energy flushed with the silvery light and returned to the Creator from where it came. And I'm removing all violence and abuse energy from the earth plane, as we no longer need to play that game, and we can play a nicer game and a happier game. And I see some demonic cords of energy, and I'm also pulling all of these out too, and they're down in a lot of the bunkers and a lot of the tunnels, so I'm going to pull all of these out so they're no longer here. And to do this, I'm going to remove all of this from all bloodlines on Earth who have held these energies on all timelines. And I see all of these collapse in a heap and return to dust. And I'm pulling out the cords, the anchors that have kept them stuck, the strings, the ropes, the low energies, the agreements, the contracts, and all dysfunctions that are in the matrix. And I see rules and regulations that have been placed on the earth plane. And I'm going to remove all of these too in every timeline and dimensions so that we're free again. And now I'm going to use the violet spear process. So I will place all Australians through this to cleanse and purify them. And I'm going to stand in the fullness of my soul. And I see and act as the Creator does. And I am the Creator. And rescue and harmonious developments for all humankind and the world. And I'm going to place the violet spear with a diameter of 5 centimetres, so it faces the whole of the Australian continent and all Australians. And I see all of Australia with all negative information from buildings, air, water, soil, beings, animals and plants. And I see all of this happening in my mind's eye now. And I see all of this information as a tangled heap on a thread on a bobbin. And I find the end of the thread and I pull this thread into the violet spear. with all land, air, water, soil, buildings, beings, and animals, and plants. Also, all thoughts, beliefs, and conditions and low consciousness that all go through the violet sphere to be cleansed. And I now see it reach the end, as all has now been pulled through the bobbin, and now only the empty bobbin is left. And I see this in my mind's eye. And there's a drainage cone underneath the bobbin. And this bobbin now represents the core of all the problems that were caused. And this drainage cone rotates anti-clockwise, which is now draining out all the core negativity that was held in place in everything. And I'm going to focus on the cone, and I say, transform all back to the norm of creation now. And I place the cone into the disposal unit, which is outside the 5-metre sphere. And I now create all living matter so that all is returned to the norm of perfection of the Creator and is of high vibration again. And I say, I create all to the norm of the Creator. And I fix this result now, this time and date, into infinity. And I am replacing the normal stem cells that are left from the gap of the negative information that was taken out. And I will now program the stem cells by saying, restore all organs and cells in Australia to the norm now. And I give an order to the pituitary gland of all Australians to re-establish all connection to all cells in all bodies in Australia. And I say, thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. And I see all done to the Creator's norm of perfection, this time and date into infinity. And I'm now going to send in the 5 frequencies to help return all in Australia back into love. And these frequencies will melt all low vibrations and all issues will be dissolved so that manifestation, grounding and integration will happen with ease. And God energy of the greatest compassion and unconditional love. That's number 1. 2, the energy of manifestation of eternity and knowledge and bliss in our worlds. And 3, the energy to preserve and sustain all creation. Number 4, the potency to do everything with joy, fun and ease. And number 5 is the energy for devotion and commitment for the highest love of all beings. And I now say 5 frequencies activate now across Australia to all beings, water, air, buildings, and space. And I see and feel all frequencies are immersed in all beings of Australia, in this love, healing light now. And I fix these results. And thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. And now I'm going to use changing situations. And this process will help to create the manifestation, so please visualize these events happening in your mind's eye to help it happen. And you need to really feel the emotions of the event happening with all associated feelings to help it come into the physical realm and to take place. So I stand in the power of my soul and I see and act as the Creator does. I am the Creator. Rescue and harmonious developments for the world and all humankind. And I now see a pillar of light in my mind's eye. And this pillar of light is approximately 50 centimeters in front of me. And this pillar of light is carrying all the information about creation. This is a pillar of light of all there is. It is the source of unlimited potentiality. And I say I would like to manifest all Australians standing together and saying no to the voice now, so that this action is stopped from ever happening. And I would also like to manifest rescue and harmonious developments for all humankind and the world and for all beings and animals. And I now place all of this information about stopping the voice from happening in Australia. And I see in my mind's eye all Australians standing up together to say no to this situation from happening. And I see the bow bending, so all information goes to the strongest point of the curve. And I'm standing in front of the pillar of light, and I give a light impulse from my soul that's just like an arrow. This is now activating the bow. And all the information flows towards the light of the Creator, which meets the light of the Creator, and at this point of impact is now thrown like a flash into reality. And I now give thanks for this event from taking place, because I see it happening in my mind's eye. And I now fix this creation with the light of the Creator and the light of my soul. And it is, so it is. It is done now, this date and time, into infinity. And I see all Australians support, love each other, saying aloud no to the voice proposal that was made. And I now activate this event to take place, this time and date, into infinity. And we are now creating a new world that is ideal for us and our life's dream. And everything is working perfectly for us in every possible way. And the laws of the universe are smiling down on us now. And these laws were set at the beginning of our time. And I'm asking the stars to release all the secrets to us for all souls on earth, so that we may use these again to better our lives. And I'm seeing major breakthroughs happening all across the world for so many beings now, and Australia and New Zealand, and we are learning to trust the process of our life's journey. Our battle scars are all healing back to the norm of the Creator, and we have a new direction to go, taking us with our hearts open and free. And we are being hugged by the universe and the light of the Creator. And we are able to exist in a peaceful way. And I see all stars now aligning to the right place for all beings on earth. And I see the dream life becoming possible and solidified here on the earth, physical plane, for so many beings on earth now. And so it is. And the number to chant for visualization and return to the norm is 519-514-12. And the positive affirmation is everything is working perfectly for me now. And I now cut all cords that I've shared in this healing group now. I use my hand to cut these energy cords now. I also cut the ancestral lineage that has been attached to the timeline. And I see everyone having all roots ground deeply into Mother Earth from our feet chakras, which are open now. And I see everyone having all their roots ground deeply into Mother Earth. And I now bring this earth energy up through all roots, and I fill all entire bodies. To 1 meter above all heads, we are now all perfectly balanced in spirit, heaven, matter, and earth that is within and around us now, and all is transformed to the light that shines down on the earth plane now. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. And so it is. Thank you. And if you like this video, you can push the like button and you can also subscribe to our page.